Drills Talk, episode 80. In this episode, we're going to discuss the top 5 approaches to mastering anything. This is based on a blog I wrote in the past entitled Mastery Mindset. Becoming a master is a term thrown around very loosely. It's commonplace. It's like, okay, well, you know, how we say great and everybody's perfect and things like this. And it's very hard to understand the whole mastery mindset. Being a master is something you never actually accomplish, but you continue to try to do it. And it's not for the faint of heart. It's actually very hard to do something that you know you can't accomplish, and you try to do it every day. But if that's what you want to do, sit back, relax, and I'm going to explain exactly how you should approach it. Let's go.
Yo, Drills.
Created by the great wizard of the new world.
Drills Talk, episode 80. In this episode, we're going to discuss the top 5 approaches to mastering anything. But before we get started, please like, subscribe, share, comment if you would like to comment, show your love however you would like to show your love. Here, we're an entrepreneurship-based channel. Every Monday, we have a new blog. Every Wednesday, a new Drills Talk. And every Friday, a new instrumental just to bring in your weekend, produced by yours truly. Let's get started. Number 1. Number 1 is believing in the impossible. You have to master something. How many masters do you know? You have to believe that the impossible is possible, or at least probable, until you get really, really, good at it. And then you think it's something that you can get very, very, very close to. And I'll explain why the very, very, very close. Anything that you want to do in life takes work. And we know that. And I preach that a lot on pretty much every episode of Drills Talk. But to believe in the impossible means that you can get ridiculously good. Just take sports, for example. The Olympics is coming up, and this is, I think we're about 3 weeks out from the Olympics at the time of this taping in 2021. And the Olympics is coming up. These are the best athletes in the world. To get to that level, you have to believe in the impossible. Just the pure percentages of it is just telling you that that's not going to happen, right? But it does happen for people every 4 years. There are elite people, and there's some that's elite for consecutive games. They are the top athletes or one of the top athletes in the world for 12 years. That is ridiculous. And we still can't consider them a master. Why is that? Number 2. Number 2 is understanding that mastery is an asymptote. So that's a little math, you know what I mean? And I don't know if you remember, but an asymptote gets closer and closer and closer and closer and closer to a line, never actually gets there. Another example will be a half-life in science. It's like, particles go in half-life. So let's just say, for instance, it's 100, and then this half-life is 1 year. So in 1 year, it'll be 50, 2 years, 25, and so on and so on. But it never actually vanishes, right? It never goes to nothing. You can have something all you want. There'll always be something left. And that's basically the approach you take when you're mastering something. Yeah, you're going to get closer and closer and closer and closer to being a master, to being quote unquote perfect, but you never get there. And you have to understand and be okay with that. Can you do something, and this is something I touched on the intro, that you know isn't possible? It's not, right? Can you continue to do it? Can you continue to try and strive and be the one of the few who gets so close to where we'll call you a master? I mean, no one is, but we're going to call you that. You have perfected it. Even the best shooters in the world don't make every shot, right? But they'll have days, or they'll go to practice and they can make 70, 80, 90 shots in a row, when the average person will have trouble making 2 in a row. They've gotten to that level to where they're very, very, very close. And you can get there too by believing in the impossible, believing that one day you can be a master, one day you can be perfect. And, somewhere in your mind, in the back of your mind, that that's not quite real. You're okay. You can do it. And just telling yourself that over and over again, you're okay, you can do it. You're okay, you can do it. To the point where you get upset when you don't do it. You get so good that your expectations are saying, of course I can do it. Of course I'll do it. And you have so much knowledge and experience in it to where other people are calling you and saying that you're a master. You've been through so much. You've done so much in this realm. You've mastered it. And again, it's because we throw around this word, but understand that mastery is something that you can aspire to be, but please understand that you never actually get there. Number three. Number three is to remember why you love what you're doing. You have to know why you're doing it. You have to know why you love it. Because becoming a master is very, very difficult, or aspiring to be one is very difficult. You're going to be hard on yourself. You're going to be a lot of failures, ridiculous amount of failures, because you're trying something that, again, is impossible. So why do you love it? It makes you feel good. It makes others feel good. It allows you to take care of your family. It allows you to take care of yourself. It'll allow you to leave something, or a legacy for people who you would never meet, that are part of your family. That's why you do it. That's going to keep you going. That's going to keep you striving to get closer and closer to that line. Understand that, embrace it, and say, I love this so much that I'm dedicating my life to getting very, very good at this. And I do it because I love it. And I love it because of this. You have that answer. Nothing can stop you. Number four. Number four is to stay a student. I've been making music for 18 years now. So of course I started as a child. But I've been making music for 18 years, and I'll still watch a tutorial video on something that I've used before. I'm pretty well versed at it, but that other person may do something that I haven't been doing, or may have a better strategy, or maybe more efficient. And now I can learn, you know what I mean, and make my process a lot better. And if you don't have that approach of being a student, you'll never watch that. You'll never get that gem. You'll never catch that. So for people who are watching this, and maybe you're already an entrepreneur, maybe you're already a successful entrepreneur, maybe you are already considered quote unquote master of what you're doing, but you catch something in this video and you say, you know what, I never thought about it like that. Now I have the ability to go and explain it to somebody that I just couldn't quite get the words, but the way you explain it is good. I'm going to run with that. And now I can explain it to the people in my circle. But that's just being a student, being okay with watching this video from this guy that's on this site, but I caught a couple of gems and I can go and run with that. And maybe somebody will hear me say it and then they can run with it and tell some more people. That's what being a student is about. It doesn't matter how long you do something, you can always learn from others. Please remember that. Number five. Number five is the most important, and that is to be patient. We live in a world where everything is instant gratification. Everything is right now, and all you see are the finish lines, right? You look on TV and all you see are masters, quote unquote. All you see are amazing people who are at the tip top of whatever their chosen profession is. You don't see the work. You don't see the hard times. You don't see them doubting themselves. You don't see them wanting to give up, being a day, an hour, one no from giving up. You don't see none of that. But that's all part of it. That's all part of, what we don't get to see. Just think about it. We're seeing the tip of the iceberg. We don't see what's lifting it up out of the water. We don't see that. We don't see anything that has anything not to do with mastery. We don't see the long practices. We miss it all. We really do miss it all. And that's a disservice to us because we're not aware of the work that goes into becoming a master or quote unquote master, or being very good at your chosen profession or skill. It takes a lot of patience. It takes a lot of failure. It takes, being okay with questioning yourself and trying to get better. It takes watching tutorials of something that you feel that you were already good at and well versed at, but then catching something and learning and now you're so much better, maybe even 2 times better than you were, because you just caught that one thing, being a student, being patient, understanding that it's a process, understanding that maybe the people who you're watching on TV got there faster, but that doesn't mean that they're going to be there longer. You be patient, because when your turn comes, your skill level is so high that you're not going anywhere. You're not there for a flash. You're not getting 15 minutes of fame. You're there for the long haul. Embrace it. Embrace becoming a master. Drills Talk. Episode 80. These are the top 5 approaches to mastering anything. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. It's drills.com. Check this shit out. It's Drills.